record though.
All right,
Yeah.
we are recording.
Officially recording?
There you go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to a good show.
All right, everyone. Welcome to our very first episode of Media Mavericks. I'm Dina.
I'm JoJo Payne.
I am Dominic Gianetti.
I'm Kevin.
And we are a full media film podcast. And let's just kind of go over how we met a little bit. It's kind of wild, JoJo's story, how you met Dom.
I was in a strip club. And no, I'm just kidding.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be shocked.
I won an auction for
A strip club.
for strip club. I won an auction on this website. It was for a walk-on role for a film, and you get to meet Dean Cain. And I was like, oh, he's hot. And they were filming it in West Palm Beach, so let me put in a bid on that. You forget all about it until you get a phone call, and it says, hey, you won the auction. We're filming in a week and a half. And I was thinking, oh my God, I just dyed my hair bright purple. It's not purple right now, as we all know. But anyway. So a week and a half later, I walk onto the set, and it's very, I can't even think of the word. Bougie, equestrian, polo.
Was it
Not your scene.
Yeah. Was it the
No.
first time you were ever on a movie set
It was the
before?
first time I was ever on a movie set. But I also felt like the look that I had with bright purple hair, I had my short sleeves on, so I had the tattoos, and I was like, one of these things is not like the other, and it's me. And I went to Dominic and I said, don't waste your time or your money putting me in, because I don't blend in this. I don't belong. And he looked at me like I had three heads, and Jason Campbell looked at me like I had three heads, and they were like, are you sure? And I was happy being on the movie set and meeting Dean Cain, and a friendship emerged from there with both him and Jason, and now I feel like we're stuck with each other almost for a lifetime.
For lifers.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy. And the first time I met you was on the set of 44. Bright purple hair, big ass personality, and big ass.
Yeah. And
And the first thing she said to me was, why are you wearing that? We're on a football field and it's 90 degrees. And aren't you sweating? I know you're sweating. And it was like my first day ever on a movie set. I thought I was going to be on batteries. That's what I was hired to do, was to be the battery girl. I thought I'd be running back and forth.
You had
Still
like the
wasn't
harness on and
dressed.
shit
Yeah.
over your clothes.
I was like, I had no clue like what I was going into. I'm like, I'm just going to figure it out. Life on a movie set. And yeah, JoJo was like, you can relax.
I did say that.
You can relax. It's okay. You can wear some jean shorts. Like,
Yeah, I remember when you showed up too. I was
Right?
like, what are we doing?
What are you wearing? Where are we
Tom
going?
was like, are you like in the movie today? I was like, no. He's like, are we doing your bar scene today that I didn't know about? I was like, no. He's like, oh, Jesus, okay. And how was the first time you met JoJo? I don't even know this.
So the first time I came on Fourth and 44,
Yeah.
I met all of you guys through my neighbor, who came to me and asked me if I could help out on a film with lighting. And I wasn't doing anything at the time, and I said, yeah, of course, I'd love to see what that's about. You know, I had some experience from like my social media and YouTube and stuff, setting up lighting or cameras and whatnot. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. I showed up. We got onto the football field, and I was just kind of like, you know, watching everything going on, getting out what I needed to get out or what I was told to get out. And she walks up, and I don't know. At first, we had a long conversation about this, and I said, I feel like people put off a certain energy that you just kind of gravitate towards or pick up on. And I don't know, from like the first like 15 minutes talking to her, I was like, yeah, she's a cool bitch. I like her. I like her a lot. Let's keep this conversation
Do you remember
going
what I
on.
said? The first thing I said to you was the same first thing I said to a lot of people.
It was something about like you really don't care what, you know, people think about you. Just
Oh yeah, I know. But I think the first thing I said is, "Who are you?" Because I didn't know everybody on the set yet, and I was randomly walking up to people.
No,
going,
I think I said that to you.
Oh, you might have.
I think
there was a who
I
are
did.
you
I was
somewhere
like,
in there.
I was like, okay, so what's your role around here? That's what I said to her.
So what do you do around here?
Because I was just asking everybody like what their role was around here.
And I was too, because I didn't know.
And you, even on 4th and 44, before we all got really, really close on Crossroads, you were still like picking up like little jobs. Like you were like, I need the most random things. I need a car door handle. And Jojo on the Zoom was like, oh, I have one. He's like, are you like serious? You're just,
I have
like,
the car to go
me?
with it.
Yeah, and she was like, oh yeah. And then we needed like a shitty car for like one of the cars.
Oh yeah, that was the scene at CVS, right?
Yes, at the CVS. And you and Jojo went and decided to get Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
And I'm out there literally like just whatever. And then we're like, oh, we need a shitty car. She's like, oh yeah, I gave my friend my Jeep for the week. They're real happy. And I'm driving over this POS.
Yeah, I had a tendency to randomly walk up to people and just go, who are you?
Yeah. Well, Dominic, I don't even know your first impressions of us, because for everyone who's watching, all our new listeners, brand new listeners, when we all met, Dominic, he's the director.
Yes.
JoJo's actress, investor, and yeah, exactly. Connor was started with lights and then picked up a lot of camera work towards the end of our last film. And like I said, I was supposed to be batteries, and I clinged myself to this camera. He's like, you want to just carry it over? Absolutely. Absolutely. I will carry that for you. I'm like, you want me to turn it on and like get it booted up and like all the things? And yeah, and I was lucky he kind of just threw me on camera. But what was your first impressions? Like a crew that you've never met who's going to help you like make this like awesome movie.
So this is the first I'm hearing of it. You guys were on 4th and 44?
Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear that.
No, I think it was great. It was amazing. It was my second JC Films movie, and one of the things that JC Films and I myself have a lot in common is putting together, not just in front and also behind the camera, is seasoned professionals with people that are new in the industry. So that being said, I couldn't tell. I'm not just saying this because we're doing a podcast together, but I couldn't tell that it was your guys' first movie.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, you guys were all amazing and just like fit in perfectly. And no, I just assumed you guys were, in the business already.
That's
So,
crazy
yeah.
that you think
Notice
that.
he addresses you two about that.
I was shitting my pants.
Well, I knew
Well, because you were
I
just
knew
looking
you,
good on
JoJo.
set.
Yeah.
We had to do stuff.
I
We
But
had to
you,
work.
you just have that personality where it doesn't matter what you're doing or where people stick you. Like, they just want you a part of it. Seriously.
I will say the best thing about that movie is, especially for your first movie, and you probably saw a difference in Crossroads, but 4th and 44 was made as if it were 10 times the budget we had.
Yeah.
It was a big movie
I felt
with
that.
the budget we had. And it was, the extras, we got a ton of extras. We had massive locations. I mean, it was
We got a whole university
Yeah.
to shoot at and
Yeah.
do everything that we wanted. Like, they were so gracious. Like, and that was like my first set. I don't know how those things go. I'm like, oh wow. But like from what I hear, we kind of got lucky in that sense.
I believe that was probably one of the best movie sets to be your first set, because it was a set that was so big and massive and so much was going on, yet we had such a small crew that you were able to, my theory has always been the best film school is making a film. So my thoughts for you guys were like, wow, they're definitely jumping into an amazing movie for a first movie.
Yeah.
It was not a small movie. It was a big movie.
Yeah. There was definitely like a lot going on. And I remember my first day, I get there, I was like 5 minutes late and I was like freaking out in my car, like before I walk in. And then I see Connor just like sitting on like right in front of the doors where like all the people are, like the snacks table, like all those things. And I'm like, what are we doing? He's like, oh no, we're just chilling. I'm like, he's like, yeah, like you'll know, like it's either a little waiting around and then just fully, where's everyone? Where are the cameras? Where's this?
Hurry
Where's
up and
that?
wait. Hurry up and wait.
That's what I was just going to say. I remember everyone always saying that, so I just kind of adopted
And
that.
I was like, oh really? Like I'm not late? He's like, no.
What
Like,
I say, it's not the time that takes it takes, it's the time between the takes that takes the time.
yeah.
Did I almost get that?
No, I think you got that.
I think you did get it.
Like, that's not a small movie to hop in on the first one. I think I would tend to agree with you, not in the sense of like movies and stuff, but other things. Like, I feel like that's the best way to learn, is just like hopping in and
Yeah.
trying to like, take everything in while you're doing it.
Right. No, 100%, because when I saw Rick's cameras, the red Komodo X, I've never seen one in real life. And he started asking me questions. And I did Google a lot of things. And he still calls me out on it to this day. He called me out in front of everyone. And he thinks it's hilarious. But he was like, you Googled that, didn't you? Because like he was like, the answer's right. But like you didn't know that. I was like, no, I didn't know that. Like I Googled that for sure. And like, cause I just wanted to be able to just like do the job.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and then
Fake it till you make it,
yeah.
girl.
Mm-hmm.
Well, being a crew member is like being an actor in the sense of they'll ask you, can you ride a horse? Yep. Can you surf? Yep. And then you get the part and you're like, go home. You're like, Mom,
Yeah.
I need surf lessons.
Googling everything, literally how to do it all. Is there any type of like prerequisite job that you guys had before this that you think really set you up to be able to do this type of job? Because this job is not for everyone. Like you can be, where's the button? What's going on? Cheers, my friend.
Hey! What up?
So we're gonna be dead in like when we leave the parking lot? He's just throwing up gang signs.
He hears you.
Well, now he knows what we're thinking.
It was that has just throwing up gang
So
signs.
for those of you that aren't watching this or can't see, there's a big window here. We're on the city street and we can talk to the audience that walks by. Our fans.
Mm-hmm.
Our fan.
Our many.
We are on
Did you say
Clematis
our
Street,
fan?
right?
Our fan.
Our one fan, he came to support.
Yay!
Anyways,
Oh, I had no job that would prepare me for this because I wasn't ready for this life.
like nothing like that you've done where like made you like feel like, oh, I can absolutely do this type of job.
Nope.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Honesty is the best policy.
Yeah.
I know. You know, throw me into something and I'll figure it out.
Right.
You can throw me in anything, I'll figure it out. I'll say one thing, it's very different than theater. Which
Okay.
is something
Did
I
you do
did
theater?
a long time ago.
Okay.
She just said she didn't have anything to
I
prepare
know.
Well, that was like literally a lifetime ago that I don't remember. I
Yeah.
Obviously, like acting in the theater, you weren't like stage crew.
know I like to be in front of people. I like to sing.
She's a great singer, by the way. We did do a drunk karaoke session. Check out my TikTok if you want to see it.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound good.
Yeah, it
I
does.
sound much better in person.
True, but she's a great singer.
I do.
What about you, Dom? I don't even know.
He came
What?
out with a camera in his hand.
I
and-
know,
Yeah.
out the womb.
I mean, no, for real. I've been doing this since a kid. Saw Star Wars when I was 5 years old. First Star Wars. And that's all I've ever done. That's it.
So like wait, so what's considered like a kid? Do you remember like when you first
I was
got
Like
involved?
14,
Yeah.
10.
well, no, I was 5 years old, and I
Holy
knew it's what I
shit.
wanted to do.
When did you do your
100%.
first
At 5.
short
Yep.
or something?
I was 5 years old. Knew that's what I'm going to do for a living. Made a cartoon when I was 8 years old.
So Star Wars made you want to
My
do
mom
it?
came home, and I had about 300 pieces of paper on the kitchen floor because I was 8. My mom wasn't home because they used to leave us alone, I guess, back then. Who knows? But,
Yeah, they did.
so she's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I think this is how they make cartoons." So unfortunately for me, because I am old, we didn't have internets growing up, so we didn't have the internet growing up. So I had to figure out everything on my own, and I did. And much like JoJo, I had a high school and definitely high school background in theater into college. And
Always a crew hand, or were you ever acting?
oh no, I wanted to be an actor.
Oh.
I saw the story. I
Breaking
remember the
down
story
the
you told
gooey
me.
layers of Dominic.
I remember the story you
So
told me.
both
tell the story.
intrigued me, but I figured making movies would be the best way to make myself a star. Because even then, and I do to this day agree, if you're an actor, you want to make a movie, you want to be in a movie, make your own movie. Especially today, it's easier than ever. But it's not easy to make a good movie. So I did. I moved down to Florida, and I was going to the Burt Reynolds Institute as well as Palm Beach State College. And really, most of my education came from on the weekends making movies with my friends and going to Barnes & Noble and reading books. The college
What
did very
about this
little
thing
for
called
my,
the library?
yes.
What's that?
Well, they didn't have coffee shops at libraries.
No, well,
What? You couldn't get your Starbucks?
It was Barney's then. But
Dewey
so-
Decibels.
So yeah, I wanted to. I auditioned to be in a short film at my college, and I thought for sure it was a hippie film. And I had really long. I had Connor hair back in the day.
Oh
And,
my God! One day you got to show us.
So I didn't get the lead, and I was really pissed off because I thought I was better. And then I found out like they cast their friends, and I'm like, oh, this is how it works.
Politics in
so-
movies.
Of course.
And-
Imagine.
You know,
Mhm.
years later, it still works that way. So no, I was. The next semester, I was like, I'll make my own short film. and I will make myself the lead. So once I got into writing the script and then we actually started production, I immediately recast the lead as one of my friends, gave him the part. And because I knew right then and there, I fell in love with the production side of it.
Yeah.
And I probably did curtain calls like a million times on stage in high school and some college, did a lot of plays and bowed. And when I saw my name at the end of the short film, it was the first time I saw written and directed by Dominic Giannetti. I was like, the feeling was way better than any bow I ever did.
Yeah.
I never
What was
looked
the name
back.
of it? The short film.
Oh,
What?
So I don't know. I got to worry about that. So it's a vampire movie, and it's called Dark Sin.
Imagine it goes Vampire Diaries.
No, but I will. Fun fact is I did at a festival get blasted by these vampire lovers for it back then. This again, I'm really
Was
old.
it JoJo?
No, but they got really mad at me because I had vampires that could go out in the daytime, and I thought out of all the people that would come up to me at a film festival, these guys came up to me and they're like, we have a problem. And I'm like, what? They're like, that is so unrealistic. And the first thing that came out of my mouth was, it's a vampire movie. That's not realistic.
yeah.
So, yeah, no, they got really mad at me because I had vampires in the daytime.
And look at what Twilight and Blade.
Yeah.
I paved the
literally
way.
Twilight. They
Yeah.
just glitter in the sunlight. And Vampire Diaries, they just like wear like a ring. Like, there's so many ways around it. Like, seriously.
And also, fun fact is I filmed a lot of it right around here and right over in
Oh,
City
really?
Place. Yeah, where it was a ghetto. We almost got shot during
City
the making
Place
of the
isn't even
movie.
around anymore.
Put it all on for a movie.
Keep in mind, also for our viewers, we are filming inside of a nightclub right now. They don't open for a couple more hours, but right on. What did you tell me this place was called? Or like the rope
500 block?
Yeah, 500 block.
500 block of Club Matter Street, downtown West Palm Beach.
And how old is this? It's like a rock bar.
So this is like an alternative rock bar opened in 1987.
One of the oldest ones on the coast, or the only one left on the
I
coast?
think the longest running on the East Coast.
Okay.
It's so funny when I first walked in here and like looked at like what's on the ceiling and the vibes and stuff. That's the first thing I thought of, like
Yeah.
vampires. I don't
Yeah.
know why.
Oh, no,
Well,
it was
there's
just
a werewolf
Just
hanging from the
hanging,
ceiling
yes.
and like a deer.
I filmed about at least a dozen movies in this club.
Wait, the Christmas
Really?
movie was filmed here.
The Christmas movie,
Yes.
did a witches thing, a vampire thing, did a few vampire.
Yeah, this
and
is
witches
definitely
things.
gives Buffy vampire.
The bronze.
Yeah, you know, like I like not the remake one with the girl from Scooby Doo. What's her name? You guys know Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the remake?
I
What
don't
are you
know the
talking about
remake.
the remake? This was back in the 90s when that was on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
We're
wait,
talking about
the
Sarah
girl-
Michelle Gellar.
Yes.
This is not a remake. That show's been off the air. Whatever you're watching are reruns or replays.
Yeah, the reruns.
Yeah.
But there's two Buffy the Vampire Slayers is what I'm
No,
saying.
there's a movie and then the series.
Oh,
and
thank
who's
you.
in the movie?
Wait, the actress or actor?
The actress.
Oh God.
The actor would be Pee Wee Herman. Remember when he died?
Oh my God, I have her in my head. The blonde with the poofy hair.
Christy,
Yeah, but I don't remember her last
right?
name.
Was it Christy Swanson?
Christy Swanson? Yes. She's talking. She says remake. I'm like, it was made again.
And that's kind of why we started this podcast. I think was the generation gap because Connor and Dina are like 19, and JoJo's 35, and I'm 72.
Shut up.
God.
all right, but I kind of want to like pick apart that too because you said like you moved down here to do this, back and forth there. Didn't you do some time over in Hollywood area, like California?
Time like
Yeah,
Did you
yeah,
live-
time.
Not jail
You
time.
did serve a little jail
So,
time.
Did you live over there?
From what I heard.
yes, I was
Yeah.
always based out of Florida.
Okay.
I did work in New York and LA and other places, Miami a lot, and some other random places, but never moved there.
Okay.
I was pretty adamant about not moving to LA, especially now.
I could see
Mhm.
why.
Oh yeah, especially now.
I never wanted to. I never had
Well,
a
they're
desire.
all running out of LA now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always said, and my theory was, I'll never go to LA, but if LA brings me there, I'll go. And it brought me there, but
Mhm.
never permanently. So I was
Okay.
okay with that.
Half of our actors on 4th and 44 were all from LA, and they said how much they hated it,
Yes.
and how Hollywood
Yes.
is just like I wonder, like I feel like you can't imagine what movies are like being made in Hollywood
Not many.
unless you experience it.
It's a weird thing because every time I've been to LA quite a bit, and I can tell you every time I've gone there, I loved it, but never where I was like, I wish I could live here.
Right.
Well, because it was a nice place to visit,
hmm
but not
Well,
stay.
didn't they move a lot of the stuff that was filming over there to like Georgia and stuff? Like, isn't Georgia a big?
Georgia's
Oh my
a
God,
good
Georgia's
state to film
huge
in.
because they don't tax on the land
Yeah.
they film on.
And they also get
Everything is filmed out in Georgia.
It's 30. There's like a 30%.
30%, I think, tax incentive.
tax incentive for
To film there?
To film in
Wow,
Georgia.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of the Marvel movies moved there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, they
like,
stole a lot of Florida business. A lot of
Yeah,
my
they
friends
did.
Vegas,
from
too.
Miami moved to Atlanta.
Yeah.
But because Florida dropped theirs.
Yes, they did.
They dropped it.
What do you mean they dropped theirs?
The tax incentive was dropped percentage wise.
So like, oh,
they didn't like drop it. They didn't drop
They got rid of it.
oh yeah.
There's a really
I
good
like
organization I'm a member of, Film Florida, and everybody should be at least follow them on social media, support them if you can. It's they really try and fight hard for film industry in Florida. So shout out
cool.
Film Florida.
Shout out.
Woo
I
woo,
got
Film
your
Florida.
sticker on my car.
So Connor, what about you? Any pre-rec lessons that put you in this kind of position, or just kind of luck? Because you were on Netflix, right?
Yeah, I did a few different things, background acting and whatnot. That's kind of what really got me into this. If we even go back further than that, back in high school, I took a few acting classes, but I went to 4 different high schools, so it was kind
Oh,
of.
you did? I didn't
yeah.
know that.
It was
You got expelled from 2 of them or something?
maybe something like that.
All right.
We just moved around a lot, so
I shouldn't have it.
I was kind of at that time like I don't know. I tried once, tried twice, and just kind of got tired of making new friends. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna move to another state anyway.
just
So
move
what's
it.
the point?
Yeah.
I'll see you for 12 months, and I'm never gonna know you again. So I did a few acting classes around that time, and I just really like I didn't know that I enjoyed it so much until I started doing it, and I really liked that you could basically like read, something and just try to embody that character and be somebody completely different than who you are. So I did that a few times, loved it, ended up moving again and just never picked it back up. And then fast forward to like the Netflix stuff, I actually came down, I was down here for school, and my mom forwarded me an email.
Wait, what school?
FAU.
Oh, okay.
And she forwarded me an email for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and she's like, they're looking for background actors, why don't you just send an email?
That's a cute show.
And I was like, you know what, let me just shoot it off and see what happens. And they called me, and
What year in college?
that was about last year.
Oh, really? You were a senior?
Yeah, junior or senior.
Because your major was what, business?
Yeah,
Major in business.
yeah, I was a
And
little bit of a partier in school, so I just was like, let's take business and call it a day.
Yeah. So you're a
And-
major in business, and you're still low-key applying to auditions to be, like, even, like, background and, like,
Yeah.
a Netflix thing.
Yeah.
So you kind of knew.
Yeah,
You're going to take the time to do it.
I did, but I was always trying to balance that because within school, that's why I got into real estate, because I wanted to make money, and it was a very influential time moving down here, especially
Yeah.
in Boca.
Oh, yeah.
Like all the kids, driving Ferraris and stuff, and I was like,
Yeah. What can I do?
I kind of want
Finance,
that,
bro. Finance, bro.
And it was completely unrealistic. I didn't think about stuff like that. I just thought like, how can I attain that? And I know a lot of people attain wealth through real estate, so I was like, let's do that. When I got in on set, I don't know, it's just like, I don't even know how to describe the feeling. Just like seeing everything, seeing the cameras, seeing the lights, seeing everything that went into it. It was just like lit that fire and the creativity in me. So I kind of still have had that ever since, and just kind of pursuing these things in the
couldn't let it go
background.
after that.
No, I don't know which one I like better, because
That's what I was just about to ask you.
I really do enjoy the behind the scenes and like making, a vision come to life, like trying to portray that vision for everyone to see through, other channels, to make it come out of your head and, let them see what you're thinking.
Nobody wants to see what I'm thinking.
So yeah, I honestly couldn't tell you which one I enjoy more.
I feel like you have to get back into acting before you could even.
Yeah, I would say I haven't done it in like a while,
before
so
you could even determine like which one like you would stand by.
yeah.
Because like you have
But
somewhat
you don't have to
experience in both.
choose.
I do.
No,
I
you
think
don't
you,
have
don't
to
have
choose,
to
but
choose.
like
You don't have
your
to choose.
heart, I feel
Yeah.
like would settle with one. Like when you have so much going on in this creative industry.
But what I'm saying, what Dominic had said, if you want to be an actor and you want to do it, make your own films. So you have to do both.
Right.
And there's a lot of Hollywood
Yes,
actors
there
that
is.
are, like Mark Wahlberg became
Yep.
an executive producer because he wanted to have more control
John
over the films that he was
Krasinski
in.
or whatever.
John Krasinski's
Yeah.
doing it too. And he's doing a lot of writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's pause for a second on me, because that brings up something that I want to ask you. Why do you think it is that most actors dive into both
Yeah.
ends of the pool?
'Cause
Like,
the
why do they
other
end up
end is
producing
more fun.
movies and, you know?
Well,
It's more fun.
job security. No.
That's a good answer.
Actors
Yeah.
are rough grind, and I think it's just taking control of your own destiny. That's why a lot of the famous actors today make their own production companies, and I think it is. Acting is great. I can tell you one thing that I've seen with a lot of my friends that are actors is not getting roles they like. So I think a lot of actors more so pursue crew or making movies than the reverse, because if you're an actor and you really want to play certain roles but you're not getting cast in those roles, you might take control of it in your own destiny. Where if you're a crew, like for me, I've put myself in plenty of movies, and like if it's needed, if it's a one-liner or something, but if I can put somebody else in it, I will definitely do that, because it doesn't really mean anything to me. I don't have any passion for it. I don't feel like, oh good, I'm on camera. I don't watch myself. I actually hate watching myself.
Yeah.
So if I know it means more to somebody else, you'll put them in there. But I personally, just in my experience with all my actor friends, is they want to control their own destiny a little. It's good to work on crew and act. I think I have a lot of friends that do that. You know?
I feel like that's the ultimate dream.
Mm-hmm.
Like to be able to do both like that. I know for an absolute fact there's no way in hell I could. Absolutely not. Like
Act?
1,000,000%.
Dina was the bartender
No.
in 4th and 44.
I've also been a bartender
She's
like
the
for
hot
6 years.
bartender.
So the bartending part was easy. The only thing was like making that smile when they were annoying me. That was the
So
only-
when I first, actually, we go back to when I first met Dina, because we were doing an open casting call and like 140 people showed up for the 4th and 44
That was
movie.
and I
very
showed up
long
for my
day.
interview.
And Dina walks in the room and I see Rick like shuffles you outside with Mike, who's our sound guy. And I just looked at Rick and I'm like, why, where's she going with Mike? Like, isn't she auditioning? And he's like, no, she's crew. And I'm like, no, she's not.
100% crew. 100%. No, like, you know when you just know things about yourself? Like, I can't fake it. Like, you will know if I know something, if I don't know something, if I can or can't do something. I know for an absolute, without a doubt, if you like tried to make me like say lines like how you do, like you got like so emotional in Crossroads and you had to get so emotional so many times. And the thing is like you actually cared about the things you were saying, and I couldn't like fake that.
Like when the pants hit, when the pants hit me in the face and I just kept going.
It-
How funny was that?
What
Pro.
whose pants?
Bro,
Whose pants?
let's talk about that. Jojo getting hit in the face.
No,
with a
you're
pair
talking
of
about just
men's
keep it going.
jeans.
It was so
Whose
funny.
pants?
So Jojo got smacked in the face by a pair of men's jeans.
Whose jeans? Whose?
Oh,
Tell us.
well, they were Stuart's jeans. We
Oh.
were filming a scene. It was me and him. You weren't there.
No.
So we were filming an emotional scene, and I walked in. It was a teenage room. Teenage boys' room. It was a mess.
Canopy bed.
So it was a canopy
Oh.
bed, and there was a pair of jeans hanging over. So Dom's like, make it look mama-like and do the things. So grab the jeans up and start folding them.
Right.
So I grabbed the jeans. They fell down. They whacked me in the head. My earring went flying, and I just kept going with the scene. I didn't flinch. I didn't giggle. I didn't do anything. I heard the giggles in the back.
Yeah.
But I just kept going.
This is like us in the monitor. We're like, but no, Jojo literally kept in character, and it was like it wasn't
Yeah.
like a little. It was like she pulled him down, and they whipped. It was like
They whipped me, but I didn't flinch. And then you hear my earring go ding 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 on the floor.
and then she starts crying. Kyle, are you okay, honey? And she went right through the whole scene.
I did.
And then
we
we
did the
cut
whole
and
scene.
cracked up. So.
Yes.
I feel like there's a lot of times, I mean, the limited time that I've been on set, there's quite a few times where it's like, cut, and then everyone just like cracks.
Yeah,
That was
especially
funny.
on 4th and 44. Like the way Josh
take.
Okay, there was this one scene. Connor, me, our other cameraman Greg, and Dominic. We were at this university from 9 p.m. to 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. I
And
remember
I
that.
was
This
at
one
the pink club.
Was overnight so that there was like no people, all these things, whatever. So this was like the locker room scene.
That's when you were low-key bumping
I didn't-
Biggie Smalls to keep yourself awake. I was like, who is that in the parking lot?
I heard about the smell and what.
Oh, can we not talk about the smell? Oh.
Anyways, this the main character of this movie, like literally, went full out. That's how I know I can't act. Watching Josh in that locker room, he was like shaking his full naked body, except for like pants.
I wish
shaking
I
it.
saw that.
And he's just like shaking it to like the football players, and he's like, "Come on, guys, let's get ready for the game." And then the coach like starts creeping up behind him, and it's this coach. He looks like a full mafia man. Like he was.
Shout out to Bruce.
Was
Yes,
it Bruce?
shout out
It was Bruce. Okay.
He, like when I first met him, Connor was like, "Oh, I want his workout routine." He was just like this crazy, like cool looking dude, and he was the coach, super intimidating type, and he just like walks right up behind.
Did he keep
Josh.
a straight face and everything?
I think he
Mhm.
did, which I
Because
don't
he
know
could do
how.
that.
I was
Yeah, for the most part, I
dying
think he did.
behind the camera. Like I was laughing, so I couldn't even.
It was
I don't know
funny
how.
though. Like that night, I was thinking about that. I was like, "Oh my god, it's so late. This and that."
How?
And when we got in there, I don't know. I forgot about all of that and just like watched what was happening. And it was just, like, I don't know.
How?
It was crazy.
How can it be 4:30 in the morning? We've been doing scenes all throughout the night, and now he's whipping off his shirt. And there was more after that. There was more scenes in the shower, all these different things, whipping off his
I
shirt,
can't
fully
believe I'm so
dancing,
sad I
like,
missed that. Oh,
and doing it over
see
and
it.
over and over and over again, in like full capacity. And then do a Josh take. Go even more crazy than what you were just doing. Like, I know I don't have it in me. I need to have my bitch face behind the camera.
And then
When-
Josh and Bruce started improv.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
It was like
Oh, did
magic.
they?
I was just gonna say that's when I
Perfect.
feel like it started to get like magical. Like
Yeah.
time just disappeared and like you actually saw like what was
You
being
were in
created.
it.
It was
You were
cool.
in
It was
it.
like a blend of creativity and
Yeah.
sleep deprivation.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It's like,
I've been skipping the audio. I'm working on the files for the last movie that we're doing, just changing every single clip, even if we didn't film a goddamn thing, watching it all.
Name your files, crew.
I didn't
Name them.
even know this was a job, and I'm embarrassed how long it's taking me to do, because we keep like trickling more and more like into like our busy lives that we decided to now do together. And
I think at some point we need to take a break and catch up.
yeah, no, seriously, we do need to catch
What's a
up.
break?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, wait, take
We
a break
can
from this and catch up on this. It's not that there will be no work, Dom.
Right,
Okay,
right.
gotta work.
But yeah, so I'm working on these, and I've been just skipping the audio because he would turn the lavs on. Or no, it's not even, it's the type of lav mics that they are, where like you don't turn them on and turn them off. Like they just roll the whole time, right?
Hate them.
Unless you turn them on and turn
So
them off
I have
yourself.
to listen for like almost hours and just listen until I hear, "All right, guys, action." And then that's where I can cut it and change it.
That's rough.
Have you
So-
heard anybody tinkling?
You know what? Should I bring in some audio files of people talking shit about us? How much fun would that be?
I will. All right, so that's first thing first in this industry. You need tough skin, and especially if you're going to ever sit in an edit
I
room
would love to hear
and
what people
hear
say about
people.
me.
Actors always forget their mics are on, and crew.
Please tell the story.
Crew forgets
I've done it.
Wait, is there an
so
actual
many
story?
stories.
There's something about Mary.
Oh no!
What?
No! No!
Why?
No, we do not talk about what happens.
Like-
It's like Vegas, you know.
Oh,
What
okay.
happens on set stays on set.
Oh, I know
So-
that's
Maybe when
All right,
we cut.
everyone knows, and I don't know. We'll have to do it after.
Yeah,
I want to hear
we'll
this.
tell you after.
So, what was I
I
saying?
wanna-
That you have to have,
You have to
tough,
have tough skin because you will hear stuff said and sometimes about you.
Mhm.
There's, and then you get people like a lot of people on set like me where we'll just agree with people
In the
because
moment.
it's easier to just agree with people, and then like later, you like somebody's like, oh, I heard you say that. I'm like, I didn't say, I was just agreeing with them. So, but yeah, you need tough skin. I cringe when I'm in the edit room and I hear my name come up. Especially if it's somebody I like an actor I really like, and they start talking about me. Thank God I've never heard anything bad about me yet.
No way. No, I'm just kidding.
Actually,
I'll
I can
send you all the
totally-
files. No,
I
I'm
can
just kidding.
completely see that.
No,
I
Dominic,
can see things being said about me.
I'm not even just saying this, just bosses in general. I've never had a more chill boss than you. Like, honestly, the most mellow, most chill. Like, I can just fully be myself, say what I want to say. zero judgment. You know when you could like feel the judgment? I think we all can understand that. We've been through that before. And I just like don't feel that. And like at the end of the day, like he's the director. Like, and that was my first time on a set, and I was just like, oh my God, like, don't talk to him, don't bother him.
What about when you can feel the judgment and you just really don't care? Like,
what's that like? I don't know.
I don't know. I grew up in a right family because I have a thick skin. So.
Yeah, you do. No, I would care. That's why I've been avoiding the audio.
I'm interested
Who
to
is this
hear
girl who
what
doesn't know
people
what she's
say about
doing?
me, actually.
You want to know?
Yeah, I would love to know.
I want to know too.
I
Are we toxic?
I don't know if it'd be safe if JoJo knew.
She'd just drive up to her house.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. The thing is,
Jeep.
the thing is, I would love to know because I do have a thick skin, so it probably wouldn't bother me. I'm just interested to know. Is all.
One thing I've come to learn is that, like on a movie set, you're like a family. You know, you're bound you're bound to fight with people, and there's going to be disagreements, there's going to be arguments, there's going to be back talking. People talk about each other, and then at the end, it's kind of like you're all sad to see each other go, and
I call that graduation goggles.
Yes, 100%. Like, I don't know why at the end of every movie we've done so far, I'm just like, wait, no.
I mean, I would think it's because you spend so much time with everyone for like a condensed period of time.
And at one point, you're like sharing brains. Like, you're just like, wait, and you're just like thinking about like the one scene so hard. And then there's like all these people that are thinking, like, what should we do? What should we do? And because we care so much about how it turns out. And my absolute favorite part of 4th and 44 was the lighting, 100%. My favorite part of Crossroads was definitely just like having free range with like the red Komodo X, and just like I appreciate Rick so much for like trusting me to be able to use it, and like, you know, putting the faith in me, because like switching from the D4 on 4th and 44 to the X, like I just felt like I felt it, like, you know, when it just clicks. At one point it clicked for me, except for that one night.
It happens.
When I lost my mind.
Wasn't that the last night?
No, it was the first night I was on my own. There was no Rick, no Greg.
Yes, let's talk about that. So we started out the movie, and on the first day, our DP got COVID. And,
unfortunately.
And then I got that phone call, and ironically, we were at the first night we were filming, and we were talking about COVID. And he was joking with me. He's like, "You know that's not real, right?"
Oh, is that what happened?
So I'm like,
God.
all right, well, and I have a rule: never talk politics on a movie set, ever.
Yeah.
So
fair enough.
And then the next morning he calls me. He's like, "Dominic, I got COVID." I'm like, haha.
Yeah.
And no, he did. He got COVID.
Yeah,
and
he got
thank
COVID.
goodness nobody else on set got it.
Yeah,
so.
no, I'm very surprised too. But he said, he was like, I wiped down all the equipment, like I did all this. And then that was my actual first time ever being on a movie set without like a DP and without a really experienced camera person like Greg. And we did have Fernando. Love him. Fernando could not help me in the slightest with that freaking gimbal. I'm YouTubing. I guess the internet doesn't always come and clutch you guys, because the YouTubes weren't helping me. The Google wasn't helping me. No one could help me. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to handheld. We're keeping it old school. We're not using the gimbal. Greg eventually, literally the next day, showed me what was wrong. It was literally one button.
Wait, so how did that go? Wasn't that the time you said, like, you know, you braced with your knees in the car?
Yeah,
and made
yeah.
your own gimbal?
So it was actually, that was the freaking
And you were
car
like,
crash scene day. And I used myself as a human gimbal. I put both for Stuart. We really abused his car. We're like, go faster. Go
Wait,
faster.
what was the name of the car?
I don't know.
It started with a P.
It was like
Penelope?
No.
Persony or something? What was it?
No, you're closer than you were.
It was like
with
a really
Penelope.
girly name.
Primrose.
Oh,
Primrose.
Primrose from Hunger Games.
Primrose and Ellie.
Yeah, he named his car. But yeah, so there was
Why,
like
Stuart?
there was a little
Hey,
my car's named Tanya. So I
mine's
can't even-
Ellie.
But anyways, there was a really bad divot going into the road, and he's like, I'm gonna bottom out, and we're like, we don't really care. Like I especially me that night, I was like sweating, I was scared. And
She's like, I
I'm
hope
the
he doesn't
only
hit
camera
anything.
person for this movie. I care so much. I want it to be perfect. There's 5 freaking cords
I want it to be perfect. Just sacrifice your car.
and go fast, but don't hit anything.
Yeah, we had Marcel standing in the road in case like there's a guy on a bicycle that's like gonna ride the cross and steer. Fully like it was not okay. But yeah, I used myself a human gimbal. I put both my feet on like the back seats. I pressed my back into it, and I put the battery like right to my cheek. I'm like, just go as fast as you can. We did like what, 3 times? How did it look?
No, I think
Came
it was,
out great.
It was
No,
Did it actually?
Like, how amazing is that? Like, literally, shout out to Rick and Greg for that, because Rick really is even though he wasn't physically there on set that day, he was like literally, I think, by his phone the whole day.
Yep.
And
oh yeah, I called him twice.
Yeah, whatever. It was like he's just there. He kept texting me. Let me know if you need anything. Let me know if you need anything.
Yeah.
And then Greg, who wasn't even supposed to work on like Clerks, I wasn't even supposed to be here today. Like Greg wasn't even supposed to be on that movie, and ended up just a couple days, I think, for drone work. And he ended up basically working almost the whole movie until he had to go
Yep,
somewhere.
absolutely.
And again, it was just like how we were talking about before. Like a family reunion in the sense of it was great. It really came together really nicely, considering the massive obstacles we got right off the bat, you know, and it didn't affect the movie at all. It came out amazing.
Well, we got to talk about how she,
We
got
gotta talk about what
introduced.
brought Dina into the world.
How'd you
of
get introduced to
camera,
everyone?
lights, camera, action?
Oh, my camera life.
Yeah, what brought you to lights, camera, action?
So I actually, when I went to college, I got a degree in broadcast journalism. So I graduate, but I did a lot of like media production. Like we had like a lot of like, politicians come to our campus. So like we'd film the politicians coming on. Like I'd always like be working the cameras and everything. And then once I needed an internship, I found one in Boca Raton. My first time going into it, I was like so terrified. Like I was just like, I don't know how to do any of this again.
Were you behind the scenes or?
I was behind the scenes,
Okay.
and then they did throw me on camera. They said I don't have a choice. They're like you have to do a show. All the interns do a show. Pick a topic, pick a name, create your cover art.
What was on the tea?
Yeah, the weekly tea with Dina. I was still doing it like even a while after because like I thought that was like what I had to do because that's what I went to college for. And then as the world got crazier, I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. And then I got my photography job and I fell in love. Absolutely fell in love. And then videography is just like an amped up version of that where everything has to be perfect. Because in a photo you get that one moment, but in videography you have to make the moment. Like you can take the photo and you can capture it. Like I got it. But in the video you're making it. You're doing everything you can to build this moment because like it's not just going to be there naturally.
When you guys did photography, did you use film?
What's that? No, I did not. I could only imagine because Dominic tried to explain it to me one day, and I literally think I was just like, "Oh, I totally understand."
What film?
Yeah, like when you said that, like you like pull it apart. I'm like, what do you even mean though? What does that mean?
And you got to do
But
it. You got to do it in the dark room.
I was gonna say, isn't that the one with the dark room?
Yeah, I feel like I should
with the projector?
I should bring in a camera and have you guys like try to load it.
Turn
with
it on?
film. Like, see, no.
and then
Come on.
Wait.
One episode. Turn
Wait,
it on.
no, what you need to do is bring it in, let her try it,
Grab a
let him
wrench.
try it, and then just hand that
All
shit
right.
to me.
So what we used to do is the magazines, like the mags. You ever see those like the big things they put on film cameras? No.
Yes.
All right. So you would have to do same thing as.
I'm doing it again. I'm like, yep, absolutely. Know exactly what you're talking about.
Dom, I know what you're talking
And
about.
I literally go, yep, look right at Connor.
Don't worry, Dom.
I just looked at you and was like, because I didn't know.
No, I don't know anything.
Dom's fine.
So what?
Generations. So
What?
I don't know. What was I saying?
Maverick?
Something about like
No.
A mag. It was magazine.
Welcome to Media Maverick, sponsored by Gubba Gold Rum.
Oh, wait.
Gubba Rum.
And Gubba Silver.
Today's episode of We're Old and we talk about film and Dina just nods in agreement is brought to you by Gubba.
You need to stop drinking the Gubba rum.
Well, thank you, Gubba Rum, for sponsoring this first episode of Media Mavericks. Here and here. You can find them at gubbarum.com. We have the silver and we have the gold. So check both of them out. Thank you so much. And you guys have a great day. And thank you, Steve. Cheers. I'm going to drink both of them. See you later.
After my daughters were born, I realized that I needed to, my wife at the time was a producer at a production company and TV producer. So she had the steady paycheck. If you do film, you're like a roller coaster,
Mm-hmm.
So we decided that it was best that she stayed working. So I took time off, but then became really bored really fast. So my family has nothing to do with the entertainment industry. They were always in the auto body and car lot business. So,
like JoJo.
I understand.
So
this.
I rented a warehouse and started buying and selling cars online, which turned into like actually pretty successful car buying company. and like before most of them that
You
are even
hated
around.
it, didn't you?
Oh, I always tell people I worked 10 times less and made 10 times more, and I was miserable. Yeah, it was just a lot of working from home by myself. And once you have a creative side in you, you can't get rid of that. And there was nothing like I got
It's that bug.
I would put
It's
cars
in
on
you.
eBay, and like I had the best eBay ads ever because they were like little mini movies, and like I just like it would take me like 3 hours to take pictures of a car, and just like it would be the best eBay ad ever. And
Well,
It
the only
should when you're
creative
selling
part he
online.
could get out of this car selling job.
yeah,
I'm basically like freelancing like an octopus right now.
Yeah,
So,
Why do we
you
have to
are-
do drone work for them?
I'm
in
like
every
doing drone
little-
work for solar engineering firms.
Oh, solar engineer.
Right
I
now.
said real estate. I was like,
I worked for a solar lighting company.
Yeah.
Yes, in Palm City. We sold to a Canadian company.
so you
recently.
take a video of their roof so they know how to put
Yeah,
solar
so
panels on?
I basically go out, take pictures, basically like the eyes for the engineers. Take pictures all around the house, measurements,
Oh.
drone stuff, and then
So the
Oh, mine
funnest
was
part is the
commercial.
drone.
correct.
The
That's what I was sold on.
Yeah, the
My friend was like, "You want to do this?" It flies drone. I was like, "Yes." And
Yeah.
then I was like walking around taking measurements, and I was like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah, that's
But-
the most creative part is being able to use
Yeah.
the drone. You know something? When we were watching Greg, he did the most insane drone shots on 4th and 44 on the football field. When I was going through the footage, the first file I went to was labeled drone, and I didn't even know you guys went to that stadium. Was there a
Yeah.
reason he didn't go in? Was he not allowed to take the drone and go into the middle? Because I was just like in my seat, like on the computer, waiting for him to just fully take the drone because he was whipping that thing.
Well,
like.
two things. We were doing something we weren't supposed to be doing.
Okay.
We were close to an airport, and we were doing it really fast. It was run and gun. We
Yeah,
got there.
that's
and
how I
we,
saw.
like shot it and then packed up and ran.
Yeah.
And we were afraid we were going to get in trouble. But we got the shots we needed to get. And I said, I think he was afraid if we went like inside the
Yeah,
stadium that
definitely.
what if it like landed? Because sometimes does this a thing with drones like they can be landed near an airport?
Yeah, I mean, I know with the ones that I fly, the DJI, yeah, they're like FAA
Fickle?
can like shut
Yeah.
everything down.
We were definitely
His is FPV drones though, so I
Oh,
think
What's the
that might be
difference?
like
Learn
different.
us something new, Colin.
FPV is first person view, I think it is.
Oh, with the
So
goggles.
yeah,
He
you're
has the
seeing it
goggles. He
like
looks
you're on
sick.
the drone.
Yeah, yeah.
The other one is just like a screen, so you just like look at from the angle of the drone.
He put those goggles on. I don't know if you were there that day because there were some days on the first movie that if we were filming like in the field during the day, we didn't need lights. So Connor would have a day off and be able to do his regular job. But Greg pulled out the drone. He put the goggles on. Again, never seen it in real life. Like I've only saw videos of this stuff on YouTube. And he was like, I'm going to smash it right into Jeremy, who was one of the crew members. He would help with a lot of stuff, but he was also an actor that day. And he smashed it right into his shoulder. With the second I got the footage, I went and rewatched
I know that
video.
thing that looks so cool.
And we're like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, it's just a little fixin'. You know how Greg is? He's so cute like that. He's like, just a little fixin'. I'll just fix her.
Yeah.
She's okay.
We were like, are you sure? Are you sure? He's like, yeah.
Did she have a name?
Oh, I'm sure.
Probably
Those
does.
are his babies.
Yeah.
I think I really do want to interview him because some of his drone footage, I don't know if you saw the one. Oh, I ask him every time. I don't know if it was Puerto Rico, but it was somewhere like that, or Barcelona, I think. And he took the most insane video. You would think it was like fake. Like,
yeah, he showed me some stuff. It's
oh my
really
God.
good.
And I want to,
Yeah.
put it up for people to see because this shit is like next level. Like, this is what you see in like crazy movies of like Hollywood.
But back to your point, do I shoot video for real estate or not? I don't, but that's the route that I'm looking to go to now because I have contacts within real estate, so I could probably get in there. But I don't want to do it just like any other. I was thinking about this, and this is the business
Luke,
side of
I
it.
want to hear.
You're giving up your secrets.
I am, but it's the first one, It may bring in the viewers or not, but I want to like, now that I've gotten like a taste of the cinematography aspect, I think like instead of just shooting photos and videos for real estate in like the lower bracket to kind of like cater yourself to the higher clientele, I think it'd be really cool to like shoot the videos basically like selling the lifestyle of like a luxury.
Of what that like
Yeah.
going up the driveway.
Yeah, or like the doors swing open and people walk in, stuff like that.
That would be.
I think
Could
that'd
you
be
fly
cool.
them in the
The
house too,
only-
like little, like through the living rooms? Because I mean, those are big enough rooms if you could say
Drones?
military house. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How big is yours?
Yeah,
Like.
I'm just
it's not
thinking it'd
big.
be cool to open
Oh,
the
yeah.
door and then have it fly in the door.
Fly in, go right into the bedroom. The
Mhm.
only thing with drones is like you can't be doing like any special lighting.
You can do these jobs in between that, I couldn't do that when I was younger. We had video cameras,
Mhm.
and then I had my own, I did have film cameras, but we wouldn't be able to get jobs with those. They're
Yeah.
too expensive to make. So, now in between movies, people can go out and even with their phone, make a living off being a creator,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Where that didn't exist when I was younger. Fortunately, I was able to just continue working
Mhm.
on different things. And,
Mhm.
I do a lot of movies and then music videos, photo shoots, whatever in between. But now I think I would do things a lot differently.
To stand out from different creators that like because now all it is entertainment with social media.
Mhm.
Mhm.
TikTok, YouTube, like reality TV. I can't wait to have Adam on to just talk about the reality TV experience that he's gone
So
through
much.
in that industry because that's huge too. And like
Yeah.
the thing about film is like it's that one thing that I know will be there forever. Like there's no person that doesn't want to just like chill and watch a movie at home.
Mhm.
Like there truly isn't. So like
Netflix and
that's
chill is a thing.
yeah, seriously. So like us just kind of like getting together to talk about those things, I think is like so important.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And I think the people that do get into film, as you guys probably experienced, not only just having thick skin, but a lot of people I think get into this industry and they don't realize that the pay isn't always great, first of all, but B, the hours are insane.
Yeah.
And if people get on set and they think an 8-hour day is a normal day on a film set, they really shouldn't do this. Like 12, 14, 16-hour days is normal. And
Mhm.
it always, it always just like blows me away that people get on a movie set and they're like 7 hours go by and they're like, oh, I'm tired.
It's like we
Like,
aren't
what?
even there yet, babe. Like
Yeah.
we're
Are we there
pushing
yet? No.
through.
No banker's hours here.
Yeah.
Hence the no conventional jobs.
Yeah.
I think it's a different beast. You're either cut out for it or you're not. And it's the passion.
It appears that I
It's
am.
the passion that
Mhm.
makes you want to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Like if we didn't care about half of the scenes that we put together and built with the lights, with the angles, with the emotion of it, then why do it? If you don't care, then don't do it.
I can tell you right now, I've made an entire living, like a decent living off film. And
It is
can't wait.
possible.
I can't wait to start.
Some of my greatest successes are due to projects that I worked for free on.
Really?
The connections I made. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh,
connections
yeah,
are
100%.
The connections are 100%
They're priceless,
unreal.
man.
Exactly. Thank you, Jojo. They're priceless.
And you have to take that stuff into consideration because, like, when I talked about this with my neighbor, when he brought me in, if I was going to do it for the pay, I wouldn't do it,
Right.
Exactly.
But I knew that there's something else there
Mhm.
to explore, whether it be who I meet, what I see, how I improve, I knew there was something there besides monetary value. So
Sometimes it is just good enough. And
Mhm.
I hate saying that. And you hate it when I say that. I'm like, it's fine.
When he tells
But
me
the
a
thing
shot
is-
that he's watching at a monitor like this close to his face, yeah, it looks fine.
yeah, it's tough because like it could be better, but you're trying to
Right.
stay
Move
on
on.
And
track.
sometimes there's a
It
time
is
constraint.
a job. Exactly. It is a
Right.
job at the end of the day.
It is a
Fell
struggle
asleep.
because you have a lot of
On a
things that
couch.
you have to factor in. Actors, you have to juggle. Like I'll juggle in my brain a lot. Okay, you know what? This was a decent scene, but we have a really heavy scene later, and I want to spend more time on that. So sometimes I'll end a scene early or be like, "That's good, let's move on."
Yeah.
Not happy, and it drives me crazy because you want to
my
be
God.
happy.
That I
But
couldn't handle that.
It's something that you learn how to do, and you just juggle it in your brain, and it sucks because we're doing on independent films 6 to 10 pages a day, sometimes 12.
Less
But if we
more
spent
detail.
a full month and a half on something, especially like the four of us, I don't know why I feel like it'd just be like gold.
Oh, absolutely.
Just the way that we work together, and that's why we did decide to do this podcast and the show together and essentially start business with each other at the Peach and everything, because we saw something in one another that no one else would able to replicate. And it's just such a team dynamic that is so hard to get. And people who are watching, when you have that team, you can't break it up, and you just gotta just go for it full force. And that's what we're doing. Alrighty, everyone. Thank you so much for listening or watching our first episode of Media Mavericks. We have so much more to come. We have a lot of guests coming in. We have a lot of fun guests coming in. Hopefully, some really cool actors if we can. And we're definitely going to be taking you along from some behind-the-scenes stuff that we got going on. Some drinking nights with Gubba Rum, some party nights. And thank you so much for watching. I'm Dina.
I'm Josh Noby.
I am JoJo.
Connor.